What's up everybody, Senkai here, and today I figured I should make another pickups video. I haven't been making one in quite a while, or I haven't been really making a video in quite some time, so yeah, let's get to it. This one we will be covering the games that I picked up in July and August, and then I'll make another video for the games that I got in September and October. It's been such a long time since I did this, and I got quite a lot of games, so it would be a lengthy video. I figured that I could catch up making it two separate videos with 2 months each, so yeah, that's my thought anyway. And the thing is that back in July, I actually only got one game. So the remaining of the games here will be the games that I got in August. But the game that I did buy in July was Kingdom Hearts 1.5 plus 2.5 HD remix. And this is the, what can I say, full HD remake of the Kingdom Hearts collaboration that we also got on PlayStation 3. This is impressive, really, because the PlayStation 3 version, which I did make an unboxing of, so that should be somewhere on this channel, but those were you had all the best versions of the games when it comes to content. You had the final mix games of all the Kingdom Hearts games on those discs. However, there were loading times issues, and while the resolution was higher, it didn't perform as well at all times like the PS2 games did. But seeing how that was the only English release of the final mix games, I always thought that was like the definitive edition for me, where I could play the games in English and still have all the content. However, the remake on PS4 manages to look even better than it did on PS3 and run better than on PlayStation 2. So this is like the true definitive edition of the game. Still no Japanese voice acting on this one. However, the Japanese versions of the final mix games on PS2 had English voices as well. So yeah, this will be just like playing those back in the day, but yeah, improved. And also, like, you have all the games on here. This is just one disc compared to on PlayStation 3 where you had 2 discs. So this is Kingdom Hearts 1, 2, Chain of Memories, Birth by Sleep, 358/2 Days, the DS game. I was having a hard time pronouncing that. And then I recoded also the other DS games. Those were movies on this compilation. However, Chain of Memories is the PS2 version. Birth by Sleep, Kingdom Hearts 1 and Kingdom Hearts 2 are all the final mix re-releases. So yeah, very cool stuff. I didn't buy this at launch because I knew it was gonna drop in price, as well as I already bought this game on the PS3. So while I think it's well worth the full price, I had already paid for this way more than I should. So I got this for $25, which I think was good. So happy about that. Then in let's see. In August, I bought a Wii game. I figured that Wii games should be becoming more rare and expensive from now on. You can still buy them in stores like GameStop that have them used and stuff. So just browsing around Wii games every now and then just to see if you can find one of those games that you miss. It's nice to do right now, because you can still find those if you're lucky. One of those games for me is Castlevania Judgement, and I still haven't played this, so there's not a lot I can say about it really, but it's one of those games, because I believe I have well over 30 games for my Wii, and those are all games that I really like. And this is one of those that I wanted to get back in the day, but never got a chance to pick up, so I'm very happy to have this. And this is something that, because this is a fighting game, right? Similar to Soul Calibur, I heard, but based on the Castlevania series, so you have all the characters like Alucard, and yes. So this is something I want to play together with somebody. I might sit down with Mario and try it out. I'm not too sure. But excited to own it regardless. And this is in like the best condition I've seen a used Wii game in probably ever. This is near mint, so it's also one of the reasons why I really picked it up. So moving on to a console, actually. I got the new 2DS XL, this system, and I could make a separate video reviewing the system, but I'll just cover it right now. There's some ups and downs. This is not as good as the new 3DS XL, which I believe is the best system for reasons, but I'll show you how it looks. It's pretty nice. I also have this plastic thingy on the on the stick. A grip is pretty nice, but yeah, this is what it looks like. And what's funny is that I think it looks so much like the original 3DS, the Aquatic Blue, I believe it's called. But you've probably seen it. It's like a blue-greenish system. But the top screen always had these black borders where the entire top panel of the system was in glass, but the screen would be like the middle part. And it's the same thing here. So so this feels like a old 3DS XL in some kind of way. Also, the colors are the same with like the blue and the black. So it's cool. Specs-wise, this is a new 3DS system, so you will be able to play the Super Nintendo games and yeah, like those few exclusives. Right now we have Fire Emblem Warriors and Xenoblade 3D, which you can play on this one as well. However, this does not have the 3D effect because it's a 2DS system. The 3D depth, I'm not the biggest fan of. However, the only way to get square pixels on a 3DS top screen to get the sharpest image is to activate the 3D on the console. Just barely push up the slider to activate the 3D. Then you'll use like every pixel of the screen. It will look much sharper. That's something not everybody cares about or does, but that's something I do, and it looks just phenomenal on my new 3DS XL. So that's something you cannot do on this system, which is a bit unfortunate. Most people won't care, and I know most people don't use 3D at all. So this will be the fan favorite, I suppose. Just most people will pick this up. It's cheaper, and you can play all games on it. So yeah, it's not really worse than those few nitpicks. If you want the perfect image, you'll go for the new 3DS XL, but this is just as good when it comes to like just playing games. What more can I say? The speakers are quite worse though. So if you're playing with headphones, no problems, but if you're using the speakers, this sounds a bit worse. But it's lighter to wield or hold, really. It feels nice to play on. But I prefer my new 3DS XL. With this system though, I got a free game, so I picked up Metroid Prime Federation Force. This is a game I would never buy. Not because I think it looks bad. I actually always thought this game looked interesting and I wanted to play it. But I'm not one for multiplayer games. I tried The Legend of Zelda Triforce Heroes, I believe the game's called. And I just can't play those games. It's impossible. I don't have the time to sit down with a bunch of people and play multiplayer games that are like campaign-based games. Multiplayer games is something I really like, and I'm a huge fighting game player. But campaign games, like co-op style, I'm having a hard time with nowadays. So to get this for free and check it out with my friend Tony was great. We played it, and I mean, it controls well. It uses the gyroscope of the system, so you can aim just like in Splatoon, for example, or the bow and arrows in The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. So yeah, it's pretty nice. It plays like Metroid Prime, the shooting part, like you can lock on to enemies and bosses, but when it comes to the rest of the gameplay, it's not an exploration open world game. It has like small stages, more like Super Mario 3D Land, I suppose. You solve puzzles, then move on to the next stage. But it's fun. It just maybe should not have been Metroid. I don't know. 3 more 3DS games. So the first one is one that I got from Mario, and the game is Japanese. It's Pokemon Omega Ruby. However, what's so cool about this is that the full game is in English as long as you can play it. So if you're using Homebrew Launcher or whatever method to actually play this cartridge, it will be in English. So yes, that's what I did. I started the game and it's so awesome. I bought Alpha Sapphire and played through the entire thing back when it was released. However, I did that for competitive purposes in Pokemon, to beat the game and get all the items and stuff just to play online. I really didn't enjoy the journey. I didn't use headphones. I played while I was outside doing other things, just like mashing through the story. So actually sitting down and playing this and really enjoying the soundtrack and everything is really sweet, because Generation 3 is my favorite Pokemon generation, and I think it's the absolute best one for many, many reasons. And I have lots of arguments and stories about Generation 3, but that'll be a separate video, because that's something I want to talk about very detailed. But briefly, Generation 3 is my favorite, and remake of it on what I guess is my current favorite console. It's just too good to just rush through. So this is something I will take my time with and actually enjoy over a long time. So thanks a lot for for that. The remaining 2 3DS games I bought at GameStop during a sale, and they were both new, however at a pretty good price. Those are Dragon Ball Fusions and Dragon Ball Z Extreme Butoden. This is a fighting game and this is an RPG, so they are nothing alike. They're just based on the same manga. So starting with the Extreme Butoden, this is a what can I say? It reminds me of Jump Superstars on the DS. If you play that, it's a fighting game, but much more based on like your setup. You can unlock things in the game, and you'll build your team. And many of the attacks you do is actually like assist characters. You might know those from the Versus series, Marvel vs. Capcom, for instance. But in this game, you build your team, and while you control one character, you will use the other ones. So it's not really a competitive fighting game as much as it's a fun game with a lot of cameos. Some of the assist characters can just some of them do not even fight. They will just pop in and do other things, build meters and stuff. So yeah, but it's a sprite-based game, so you'll see some really good graphics in this one. If you're a fan of Game Boy Advance and Super Nintendo, or actually this is more closer to like PS1 sprites. It looks really good, and it's the people who are making Dragon Ball FighterZ, the upcoming phenomenal looking fighting game for Dragon Ball, are the ones who made the graphics for this one. They did not make the game, but they did make the graphics, so you might want to check it out just for that, to see where it all came from. This I believe is the better game though, especially for us RPG fans. Dragon Ball Fusions is a turn-based game where you create your own character, and I didn't think that worked very well in Dragon Ball Xenoverse, a game that I love, but that was more of a MMO style game. The story wasn't the focus. A offline turn-based RPG works much better for creating your own Dragon Ball character and taking your time to get invested in the story and the dialogue and everything. It's pretty cool, and you have a bunch of fusions as well, but the best thing about the game is the battle system, because it's a like somewhat top-down angle in battle, and similar to say Grandia or the Legend of Heroes series, where your character stands in battle will affect very much how the outcome. So certain attacks will make your character move, or if you do a Kamehameha, for example, the character will stand still. So you can not just do your best attacks every turn, but also think very much about your positioning. And also, the cool thing about this one that's not in Legend of Heroes, which I think is very cool, is that if you make an attack that knocks back your enemy, and they get pushed into each other, they will hit each other. And you can make some awesome, like, domino effect combos in this game. Really, really nice. This was pretty rare in Sweden, at least. I'm not sure about the PAL region as a whole, but yeah, I had a hard time finding this game. So when I finally did, picked it up right away, and I'm really enjoying the game. I haven't finished it yet, but yeah, when I do, I could make a video talking about it a bit more. But yeah, a must play for Dragon Ball fans, for sure. I put this here just as a reminder. This is not a game I bought recently, but I did pick up Sonic Mania, of course. A digital game, so I needed something to remind me. But yeah, Sonic Mania was amazing. You probably, if you're interested, you probably already know everything about it or have played it. But it's a 2D Sonic game that doesn't really try to do anything new. It's a very safe game. It doesn't build upon what we had in Sonic 3 and Knuckles. Like if you played Sonic 2 and Sonic 3 and Knuckles, you know that 3 and Knuckles is much more than Sonic 2. It's a huge step up. Sonic Mania feels like more of the same. There's not really anything new here. You have a very nice stage select feature after you beat the game. So it's one of the better 2D Sonic games to come back to, because I can like play any stage and have like a dedicated save file where I collect all the emeralds. The older Sonic games I always played in like one go. The first one you couldn't even save, so yeah, there's that. But Sonic Mania is it's good, and it's very, very cheap. So even if I would like call it better or worse, or come up with like a score of my own, I still think it's a game that you should just buy and play for yourself, because it's very cheap. So yeah, solid game for sure, and something I really just wanted to mention that I picked up, because it's easy to forget the digital titles you get when doing these kind of videos. So, connected to the 3DS or Wii U or Switch or whatever, next up should be the amiibos I got. Bayonetta and Corrin from Fire Emblem Fates. I don't collect amiibos, really, but Bayonetta is one of my favorite characters ever, I guess you could say. So seeing this amiibo of her, I felt like I really should buy it. I got it for a good price as well. I got them both for a total of like $25. They were like 12, 13-ish, because I got a discount, which was very nice. So that's why I decided to get both. I would get like all of them. There was also amiibos of Cloud and the male version of Corrin here. But the thing is, like I said, I don't want to buy too many amiibos. It's just that I have every single amiibo for the Fire Emblem series, and I wanted a Corrin because that's a topic for another day, but I really think that Fire Emblem Fates is a very special game for me. And while I'm not into waifus or like girl characters in that kind of sense in video games, Fire Emblem Fates is about relationships for like a big part of the game. So having the female version, which was like the one that I played for well over 200 hours in the game, yeah, that's why I picked the female amiibo over the male one. That's what I'm trying to say. But they're both very nice looking amiibos. I don't know how well you can see it on camera, But yeah, very, very, very good stuff. Some of the first amiibos looked very bad, but they are getting better for sure. And yeah, happy to have those. Next up, the single Switch game I got, and that's Splatoon 2. This game is really, really good. I was addicted to the first Splatoon game on Wii U. I played it so very much. The multiplayer. I never finished the story in that game, and the same story goes for this one. So I have played this quite a lot, multiplayer. I went online the first week playing it very, very much, but the best thing about this is going online together with people in locally. So having people with their own Switches in handheld mode, just having this LAN party environment, playing online, very, very cool stuff. And I was lucky enough to do that with both my friend Eldin and my other friend Frederick. So yeah, this is a very cool game. It's the competitive, like, Overwatch / Team Fortress 2 style game from Nintendo, and it's doing very well. I can definitely see a Splatoon 3 and just the franchise moving forward because it's super solid stuff. If you didn't play the Wii U game, I think you should definitely buy this because the reason I haven't played this as much as on the Wii U, because I already played that so much. It's more of the same, really. It's better, it's definitely better, and I'm happy I bought it. But to love it as much as I did on the Wii U, I think you would have to go into this fresh. I will play the story though, so don't worry about that. We'll see where it ranks in my Game of the Year list for 2017. But yeah, like I said, so far I prefer the Wii U game, not as a game, but like my experience. So the last two games are for the Vita, and the first one is Persona 4, Dancing All Night. This has some good music in it, and it has some very, very good graphics for the Vita. But the story I really couldn't stand. I will see if I can go back and beat it, but I played the story for what I suppose was like 5 hours or something. I really spent a lot of time to the story, but it's super cringeworthy and just annoying. I'm usually very positive about games on this channel, and I try to beat every game I play and really like just talk about the good aspects, because video game as a form of art, I believe every game has so much content that there should be something to enjoy. But and like I said, the music and like the dancing in this is great, but the story I really could not connect to. It's a visual novel style, like a true visual novel. You might have played Danganronpa, Phoenix Wright, or games that have visual novel like parts and then like a lot of gameplay too. But if you played a true visual novel like Steins Gate, for example, you know that it's not just dialogue but also a lot of text bumps, like where you have inner dialogue of where you read about the environments or how the characters feel. Just these black boxes with text of things like that. And it's not very interesting when you're playing a spin-off of a game and you spend so much time just reading about like details in that sense. This is already a story based on dancing, based on Persona 4, so they could just like have some quirky, funny story with like, yeah, that's just enjoyable to read the dialogue between the characters and not just so much text. I don't know, that's how I want to try to explain it. But I had a tough time with the story in this game, that's all I want to say. I did play all the songs on normal and hard, and I beat all of them, and it was a great time. I know this has a lot of DLC, so I might check that out, but yeah, a pretty cool box though, really. The last game is Tokyo Xanadu, a game I looked forward to a whole lot and that I really enjoyed playing. I'm at chapter 7, which I believe is pretty far into the game. While I haven't played it too much, I think I'm 25 hours into the game. I just get the feeling that it's over soon, and it's more of a action game than a RPG, really. So yeah, if it's 30 hours long, I wouldn't be surprised, but we'll see. I'll definitely play it to the end. For some reason, I haven't like binge played this game, which I do with all my other games. It's one that I played like an hour or two every week. So that's why, like, I play this right the day I got this game. I popped it in and started playing and loved the game. The music, especially, it's really, really good. But yeah, it's been a game I played for 4 months now, almost. So yeah, but this is the limited edition, and I just wanted to open it up and show you the contents. Of course, you have the game, and I think this cover art is really, really good. The Japanese limited edition had a box art that was, I believe, even cooler than both of these. But this is what the game looked like in Japan, and they kept the box for at least the Vita case. So I thought that was nice. Something I like about collector's editions is when you get a artwork for the box and then another one for the cover. So I just want to point that out. Another thing is a art book, pretty standard for limited editions nowadays. It's like, I can take a look in it, but since I didn't beat the game, I'm not too sure if I want to spoil everything. But just taking a look at the first few pages, you see it's really high res, very nice looking artwork. But yeah, you have like chibis, some text about the character, and then like the full picture. This is pretty standard stuff in art books where you get like a bunch of different art, like thrown into a page. I like those big art books where you have like a single picture in every single page. But as for these limited editions, you usually get these where like a bunch of pictures just slapped into one page. But it works. You get the mugshots and not the mugshots, but like animation draft, it says, for like the character's face. But yeah, I when I beat the game, I should read through this and actually look at the artwork here. This is what I was talking about when you get like a full page with just a beautiful drawing. Some really, really, really cool stuff. The characters and like visual style of the game is some of my favorite parts of the whole game. I played for the story primarily, but I really, really like the designs, the character designs. That was what I was looking for. There was also a plushie, and this character has shown up in like shops in the game, which is a very small part of the game. So this is not a mascot or like a party member, so I'm not very connected to this one. It's very interesting why they ship the game with such a niche character, even for fans. This is niche, so yeah, funny, but yeah. Of course, a music CD. Unfortunately, this is not the whole soundtrack, and the music is the best part about the whole game, for sure. Every single track is good. Some tracks are like funny or chill, to suit the the environments of the game. You're both going to school and also running around Tokyo, so yeah, it's very like pop culture over there, I guess. But you're also fighting monsters and going to dungeons. It's a RPG action game after all, and those songs are so good that I think that a lot of those songs surpass even the music in the Legend of Heroes series, which are some of my favorite music nowadays. But I can see from the track list here that yeah, some of the better songs are actually on here. The boss theme, Believe It. Yeah, just see the image there. I guess that's what I can show you on this camera. But yeah, the song called Believe It is really, really good. But I forgot the name of the tracks, but check out the soundtrack here on YouTube and just listen to it. A lot of the songs are phenomenal. And the main thing why I got this limited edition and not just the standard game is this. And you might ask, what's this box here? This is a card game that was first featured in The Legend of Heroes Trails of Cold Steel 1. The card game is called Blade, and it's one that they play in the game during travels. So when they have downtime, whenever in the story, they will play Blade. And what's so funny about that is that that card game was so good that I wanted to go back and play it during other times in the game. But it's not something you can do always, but at certain events in the game. I think in the sequel you could play it in your like base kind of environment. But yeah, to actually have a physical deck of Blade, I thought that was really awesome. The only way to get this was if you bought the limited edition for Tokyo Xanadu, either for Vita or PS4. But the Vita limited edition was also bundled with the statue for another $100. So I figured I could just buy the regular game if I wanted on PS4 and get the limited edition on the Vita to save some money and get what I really wanted. So that's it for this time. Thanks a lot for watching, and like I said, I will do another one of these for all the games I got in September and October. Especially September was a very busy month for game pickups. Also my birthday, so yeah, there's that. But yeah, like I said, thank you, and until next time, get gaming.